Hello, today we're going to be looking at Excel, specifically when it has to do with data analysis and data science and statistics and few other things like that. So the first thing I want to talk about is macro. So macro is right here. You will notice that macro is not just in Excel, it's in MS Word, it's in PowerPoint. So if you go to MS Word view, you see macro. So macro is like everywhere in most MS, that's Microsoft packages. Okay, for example, it's in PowerPoint and some other ones. So I'm going to be using macro to get along this stuff. I want to design something like this. Um, but then I don't want to be doing this every once because I have this form here and I have another new form. So this one is like completely empty. So I mean, it's not designed; it's just there, right? So let me clear this formula. Let me just remove that. I can just delete that. So it's completely empty. So I want to format this to look like this, but instead of repeating this every time or every day, what I could do is to record this stuff and then, you know, instead of having to redo the actions every time, I could just call a command or click on a button like here. I could click on view macro. I can run a particular macro, and then I'll be able to format this thing the way I want it to be, and that is just that. Now, what is macro? Let me summon our notepad. So from our notepad, we could see that, by the way, we've covered some other Excel tricks, so you can just look it up. So the first one I want to talk about is macro. So what is macro? We could simply say macro in Excel is just, let's say it's a series of commands, let's say commands, that can be used to automate a repetitive task. Okay, let me just write that can be used to automate a repetitive task. Okay, so it can be used to automate a repetitive, it's not just singular, it's repetitive tasks, like a lot of them, right? So what we mean by this is simple. Let's say you work for your boss every day, and every day your boss hands you over the list of customers that patronize the business that particular day, and then he expects you to, kind of format the list, make it look, maybe something like this, with the customer's name, their match number, their how many times they came to the shop, visited stuff, and maybe the price of things they bought and stuff like that. So they come up with this list every day, and you just have to do the same design. So instead of doing this, and then it's not just design, even the code, the command, the prompts, which you're going to see in a minute. So instead of repeating them every day, you could just, record it. Then each time this list is handed over to you, you could just click a button, and then the whole formatting and coding and everything you need to do will just be done in a fly, just like that, within 1 second. Okay, let me go ahead and show you how to do that. But before I do that, I'm going to clear this formatting. What I just did, I'm going to clear everything. As you can see, we did cumulative here, we did aggregate that sum, so I'm going to delete all of that. Meanwhile, we have other videos covering those. So I'm going to go to, I think, home, go to clear. Okay, from here, so go clear. So when you click on clear, you're going to ask to clear everything, both the typing and all that. But what I want to clear is just the formatting. So I'm going to click on formatting, and then this returns to normal the way it is. So of course I'll remove this cumulative. We're going to retype it in a minute, or just, there's no point, I'll just remove the test here, delete that, sorry, delete this. Okay, then delete this. So we're going to look at how we came about the whole list and how it's looking this good. So what I want to do is, first of all, I want to select the whole work area. Of course you can use command to do this, but in a minute I'll show you how to do that. So when I select this, I can change the font size to be, let's say, maybe 4. Okay, 16 is fine. I can change the font family to be Times New Roman. Okay, and then of course some of the names are hiding here, so I just double click on the line, the boundary between A and B, double click, ping, ping, and then it expands. The same thing here. These numbers were auto generated. Okay, I will show us how to do that maybe in subsequent videos, or maybe in this one. So the number of times these numbers were generated to, so also show us how to do that. I mean, I think we have a video already on that. So let's say I want to get the aggregate or the total of the numbers that are here. The first thing I want to do is to write equal to. So in Excel, before you can summon any command or function or method, you need to first of all write equal to, that is a equality sign, or you can also call it assignment operator, and then write the function you want to run. In my case, sum. I'll open parentheses. Then the shortcut here is just to drag from the cell where you want the sum to take effect. So I'm going to click and drag from that cell all the way down, and then I obtain C2 to C11. So this is C2, cell C2, C2 here, and then all the way to C11, which is right here, right? So I can close the parentheses and then press enter, and it gives me the sum of these numbers. Of course, if you adjust any of these numbers, for example this one, if I remove the negative sign and press enter, you see the number adjusts automatically to meet that demand. So that is what we have in Excel. Very, very powerful. Now let's say I want to get the cumulative. I don't know what that will mean, but let me just say I want to get this number. Let's say I want to get maybe this number here, and I want to add whatever number that is here with this one, and add whatever number that is here with this one, and add whatever number that is here with this one, then return it, then add the one here, and so on. So what I can do, I mean, you can do it 111, or let's keep it simple. Since this video is not all about that, I'll just multiply these numbers by 2. Let's do that. Very simple. So what I can do is to make sure you add your equality sign, equal to. So equal to, what I want to do is to pick this cell and say that this cell, I want to multiply this cell by 1. So, or let's say by 2, right? So put that, and then I can just press enter on my keyboard, and then this number automatically have been multiplied into 2. And for me to run this in this whole cell, you might think, if you're not familiar with Excel, that you have to do it for this, for this, for this, and also no. All you have to do is to put this number here and drag down your function. So using the arrow key function, just drag it down, and then all the way down here, and you see that it's going to give you all these numbers. Again, if you want to get the sum of these, or the average, or whatever thing you want to get, you just put equality sign, and then let's say you want to get average this time around. It doesn't really make sense, but let me just say want to get an average, which I'll cover that in some minutes. So say average. So average, I need to type that completely, average. So open parentheses and then drag out this one all the way down. The same thing, close parentheses and press enter on your keyboard, and then this is now the average of the numbers that are here. I don't know if that makes sense. Just if I'm too fast, you can just pause the video and then play it one after, at your own pace, and then get the message, right? So the next thing I want to do here is I want to do some design here. Oh my, I made a mistake. So I need to go back because I didn't record our macro. Remember, we didn't record our macro, so I'm going to do Ctrl Z to go back. It's such unfortunate. So I'm going to go back all the way back, yeah. So now if I want this thing to be done, like if I want to repeat the same thing from here or any other list whatsoever, I have to record my macro. I forgot that, sorry about that. So I'll go back to view, go to macro, and I'm going to go to record macro because I want to record a new macro. Click on it. It's going to ask me for the name of my macro. I'm going to call it, macro 1. Yeah, let's leave it at macro 1, and I want to run this macro on this workbook. So it's not just on the sheet, on the workbook. I can say this is, let's use sentence case, this is my new macro. It doesn't really matter what you put here, I mean, it matters because it's a descriptive a description of what you have here. It describes whatever you think you're doing there. So click OK, and now our macro is recording. How do I know this? Go back and click on macro. You see stop recording. So everything I'm going to be doing now, the macro is already recording them. So I'm going to select this list here. Let's redo those things again. So go to font, home, font. Let's change to font 16, right? Then go back to the font family, choose Times New Roman, and then once we do that, we're going to just expand this and expand this I think that's the things we did. Then get the total of this, which is quite simple. Just put equals to sign, just very quickly, and then drag this string all the way down. Then do this, press enter, and we get the total. So the cumulative, we want to get this times 2, right? That's what we did. So we'll do this, select that particular cell, or you can just type C2 if you want to, and then say times 2, which is shift 8, okay, times 2, and then press enter. It's going to give you all of that, and then you just drag this down all the way down, and you get this. Let's say we want to get cumulative or okay, average. I think we did the average. So average of so say average. So I'm going to drag this all the way down to this point, and then close it with closing parenthesis, enter, and then I have my average. Of course, if you change any numbers here, it's going to give you something else. So but then that's fine. So let me say I change this number here to positive sign. Now watch, this should change and this should change. Let's see if maybe that's possible. Yeah, the two numbers here updated. If you recall, this is the exact number we had before. Now that I've gotten to this point, the first thing I want to do is to let's design this form to look better. So I'm going to select from here to there, and then I'm going to come over here and do some styling. It doesn't really matter what I'm doing, I can use anyone. So make the text white, just personal preferences, no big deals. And then I want to expand this row so that it will be bigger, like that. Then center this guy, so center and center, so it's centered at the center now. And then what else can we do here? So let me say I want to color this place. I want this place to be yellow. I don't know, yellow might be cool, so can do yellow and white. Make it bold, maybe center it too. No, let's center it. Yeah, so that's cool. So what else we can do is that we can check all the one, maybe let's say we want all the negative numbers. No, let me make this yellow a little bit dark, a little bit light. So come over here, make it light, bright yellow. This one, no, that's too bright. Let's use this one. Yeah, okay, let's use that one. Sorry about that. So what we have to do now is simple. We'll have to come over here and okay, let me make this big too. So let me say I want to make this big so that it just be as this guy. So this and this and this. So that looks a little bit much better. So what I need to do next is I need to well, it's not really necessary, but I just want to do something more. Let's say everybody that has less than 0 will be scored, will have a particular color, you know, attributed to them, you know. So let's do that. Let me change this guy to 1.5, by the way. Just press enter, just nothing serious, just like that. So go to conditional formatting. So I'm going to select this. I can just use one if I want to. Go to some conditional formatting, go to text highlighting, go to numbers less than, can do numbers greater than or numbers between and stuff like that, or that text that contains whatever. So I'm going to say numbers greater than 0. Okay, let's do number greater than 1. Okay, let's do 1. Let's make them green. Let the text be green. Yeah, let's do this. Text green, click OK. So that one is green. So if I scroll down, I'll have, whoa, that's not what I want to do. Let me scroll down here again. Wow, why is it doing that? I don't know why. So I'll just redo that. Okay, click the conditional formatting, go to highlights, or let's say less than. Why is it doing that? So say less than 1. Okay, I want it to be red, so that's not red. So it's repeating itself again. I can't deal with this, so I'm going to ignore that. So once we are done doing everything we want to format, we go to back to view and then click on formatting. So, sorry, click on macro and click on stop recording. So once we do this, our macro has been saved. So let's say this is the list we just worked on, and we showed it to our boss, and he's really delighted that he likes this list, right? And tomorrow again they give us another new macro. So this macro 1, this is another this is another sheet, right? I have different sheets here. So we've covered a bunch of things in Excel, even how to do some of this kind of a thing. So here we have this macro, and then we have this new macro that is just looking like this, like the when we started. So all I need to do is to select this macro, just select it the way it is, then go to macro, go to view macro, and then select the macro we just had, which is macro 1, so and just click on run. And once you do this, see it automatically formats this list and make it look as I see this list 1, this the second list. You see this one, this is the second list. It just formats this one and brings it to be almost exactly the one we had initially when we started. This is what macro can do. Imagine this a line of code, or let's say this list of stores, and it has to get to, let's say, a 1000 list or thereabout. You see how easily and quickly you can do this. So that is how important macro is, and that's how important you can do macro. It makes your work easy and fast, right? So the next thing we want to talk about is some functions in Excel.